Hello, hi, it's Liz here, and today I thought I would make a fabric covered journal. The other day the sun was shining a bit, it felt like spring, and we took ourselves off to Helensburgh, which is about 45 minutes an hour drive down. It's just at the water at the opening of the Clyde, so it's not quite the seaside, but it's sort of the seaside. And there's a little fabric shop called Fabric and Finery, and they have a bargain bucket, big basket thing, and I spotted these remnants, a bundle of remnants. It was all bundled together, of Oral Keily, gorgeous velvety fabric. There's the green and the pink. I think she's quite well known for these big flower, daisy, leafy designs. And so I just thought, well, that's coming home with me. It was very cheap, £1 or £2, so perfect for junk journaling. And when I looked through, there was this piece which just seemed perfect for making a journal cover. So that's what I'm going to use today. We will just set all these pieces aside. I might just keep that bit aside and make a little tab for one of the pages. So we'll sit that there to remind me to do that. Yeah, so we'll put it together. I've got this piece of fabric, which I'm going to put on the inside. I think it should be about right. Yeah, and I like that it just sticks over and frays a little bit. I remember fraying this bit. I just had to cut a little bit off it. It was more or less the right size, and I just cut a little bit off it, and then I used my pokey tool and just poked out, like, you know, some a little bit of the threads and just left them hanging. So that's what I did, just to get it all a little bit thready. So yeah, so I thought that was quite a nice contrast, the kind of mustardy yellow. Yeah, I'm liking that. So I'm just going to do one signature. I had a signature kind of more or less prepped for another project that never happened. And it just, I think, just about fits. So I'm glad that I'm using up some things that are kind of already the right size. That's quite a bit of serendipity. So this is just, let me flick through. That's an old book page. This is one of the pages that we made, I think maybe a week or so ago. I was putting together some pages. So there's a video on how to do that and join the two pages with some washi tape. And then that's just some old writing paper. This is from a kiddies kind of, you know how you buy those packs of kiddies paper for them to draw on and paint on, and they're really cheap. They're only about 50p or something. An old piece of music paper. This is from an old book, and then a bit of vellum, some old paper. This is from a book as well. I wanted plenty writing spots because I think I might use this book for my moving house book. Fingers are still crossed. We should hear this week for sure about our buyers. So, and then that's just the other side of the other pages. So that's going to be my signature. So maybe I should give you some measurements. Right, let's see. Folded over, this is going to be about 5 1/4 by 7¼ thereabouts, and in centimetres that's 13 by 18, and the signature will just be slightly smaller than that, 12 and a bit, and yeah, it's just over 16½ or so. So yeah, so I'm going to stitch round to, oh, that's a bit of a noise. Yeah, let's move them out the way just now and concentrate on what we're going to do with this cover. So before I stitch round the edges, I want to think to put a pocket over here. So I want to grab a piece of this and let's see if we can get a nice piece, maybe that piece there will fit. If it fits the cover, it will fit the inside. Yeah, so I'm going to cut down there and down there to make a pocket for the inside, and I'm just going to do by eye, and that will be a nice tag on one of the pages. So we'll put that there, and then we will kind of do the same. Right, I went right up to the leaf. It doesn't tear because it's really quite thick. Because I thought maybe, do I want to put a layer of card or a layer of canvasy stuff in between, but this is quite thick. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with it being a bit floppy. Right, so a nice pocket there. So what we'll do is we'll stitch that on to this before we stitch the whole thing together, I think. And I've got a little bit, I've got a wee spare piece of this as well for a tag, so we'll put that in our tag bundle. And we might just add a little bit of lace to the top of that, but we can just glue that on once we've stitched. So I think we might do that. It's a wee bit of a contrast, so we can leave that there just now. Right, so the first thing I want to do is stitch this pocket on just to that layer there on 3 sides. Yeah, and then we will stitch the whole lot together. And I'm not concerned about the stitching being perfect at all. I want this to look quite kind of shabby chic. I'm sure Orla would approve. Right, so let's think about that. We'll just pin that on. Let me see. Yeah. We'll get our little, oh, that's a tiny wee one. Right, we've got a couple of pins. And I just want to pin it just to make sure that it's going to fold over. Should have put that on a black piece. It was be easier to. Yes, that's going to. Should I put it over a piece? Let's fold that like that and see if I'm right. I should really make it, I should really move it over a little bit. There, about there. Oh, I've got a wee tickle coming. A tickle in my throat, not a tickle from a person. Okay. Good. Right, I'm going to go to the sewing machine. Okay, so we are all stitched around. So as I said, we stitched round this before I stitched round the inside piece to the outside. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how that's coming along already. We can attach this piece of trim, but I think I am going to put the signatures in first before I start doing any fancy things, because I just want to kind of get that done. You know how it's everyone's favourite bit. So they still fit pretty perfect. Yep, happy with that. So we're just going to do a simple 3-hole using some embroidery floss, and I know that there's a secret way of pulling this out that doesn't get it all tangled, but it seems to be doing it all right. Now we do 3 just to be on the safe side. 2, 3. And I'm not sure if I'm going to just use 3 strands rather than the whole shebang. What will we do? I'm thinking we'll maybe use all of the strands rather than faff about. So I've got my big needles here. I do find it much easier since I got these big needles. So let's just try and get all of this through here. Probably not. I will probably give up after 2 goes, put the camera off, and the next time you see me, it will be miraculously threaded, because really you don't want to hear any of the words I might say. So we're just going to leave that aside just now, and we will use these clips, these paper clips, to attach this just make sure everything is nice and more or less lined up. Okay, that will do. The last time I did that, I went all gung-ho and didn't use the clips, and was pretty sorry that I hadn't used the clips. That's not even in the right place. Do you know, I'm going to move that paper because it's very, very fragile, and I'm going to put something a little bit thicker in the middle there, so that when I take these clips in and out. I won't tear the paper, and we're still all right. And put it about there. That's better. Just push that into the centre. Good. Okay, I had to switch to the big giant one, which has got the bigger eye, and I managed to get it through that. So I'm hoping that this doesn't give me problems. Okay, here we go. So we're going to put a hole in the middle, roughly the middle. Oh, this is grid paper, so this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3.5 gives me the middle. Yeah, might as well put that to use, seeing as how it's there. So we have one hole there, and I'm just going to make sure that that's through. I'm actually going to put these other 2 needles to use by just keeping that hole open for me. I have a funny feeling this fabric is going to close up quite quickly. So I'm just going to keep that in my place. Yeah, that'll do. And then a hole, let me see, down here. We'll use this spare needle. And then I'm going to turn it round and make my third hole, which should be about here. Well, let's see, it's 1, 2.5, a half, 1, 2 away. But that means, see, the graph paper has this. Okay, so we thought we were in the middle, but we're not really, because there's this extra piece. It doesn't matter. Let's just go here and hope for the best. Oh, that's a stiff one. Don't know why that was so hard to get put through that bit. Right, so I'm going to go in through my first hole. So let's just slide that out and put that one in. So I'm sorry that's folded over, but if I do it while it's open, it's quite hard to do. So just pull that through and leave a little bit of a tail, and just tuck that tail under that so that we don't accidentally pull it through. And then we're going to go through this hole here, and this is where it's going to get quite tricky, because this fabric is not going to make the hole easy to see, I'm sure. So I'm just going to push that. Just let me think what the best way. I'm making this look harder than it is. And through. Yay! There we go. That's one done. And then we are going to go all the way down to this bottom hole. There we are. And then up through the same hole in the middle there. So we will try our best to get it through that same hole without actually splitting. You can see it's black, and black is not the easiest thing to see. And I'm just going to take these clips off so that I can see it from the inside there. Because we can tighten everything up. There we are. We can tighten all the oh, it's came back out. Right, let's see what stage we're at. Pull that. And we need to go back through here. Right, let's just go right through that bit and then go through the papers. We might just need to go through them a little bit at a time. There we are. And there. Phew. Right, so we can take that off. I've got my 3 needles there, keep them safe there. And we want to put that one on the other side so that we can tighten everything up. Take the clips off. Let's just make sure everything is the way that we want it before we tie it off. We've got our black thread there. I doubt very much if you'll be able to see that. Yeah, everything looks all right. We'll just tighten it a little bit. Tighten that one, tighten that one. And we're tight on the back. Up. And we will tie a knot. Now, once again, I made that so much harder than it actually is, although to be honest, it is a wee bit hard. It's not so much hard because you know how to do it. It's more, it's a faff, a total faff, but worth doing. I don't know how these folks can do multiple signatures in the one book. I did one once. I wasn't on camera. I couldn't possibly do multiple signatures on the camera. It just wouldn't happen. I would need to take an extra tablet. That's for sure. Right, so let's add some frivolous bits. We're going to add a little bit of trim to the top of this pocket. So we'll just use some glue for that. I have, oh, excuse my arm. Still eking out the end of that bottle. Keeping it upside down. I haven't used it in a while, so it's still there. Yes, and that's a handy pocket for keeping bits and bobs in. And we were going to add some tags, some not tags, tabs. So we can use this little piece maybe for, because it's quite thick, so I want it to be on this is a thicker piece. Maybe there. I haven't bothered stitching round any of the pages. If you want to stitch around, it would be an idea to do it before you sew it into your cover. I think that might be quite nice there. Quite like that sticking out. Okay. I'll just glue it on. Of course, I could take that to the machine because that would go through, yeah, like that. But we'll just glue it for now. And then maybe we'll need to think about if we want to do something to the cover. Do we want extra embellishment? Or are we happy just to leave Orla as Orla? That would be a cool pen loop, wouldn't it? Keep your pen in there. I'm not sure if I want to have something. We'll maybe do something with closure. Maybe you're supposed to know what that means. Right, let's do something with this piece. It's a wee bit uneven, but that's okay. So let's choose and want it a bit lower down. Yep, so that about there would be right. Okay. Yeah, putting the signatures in, doing the stitching. I think you just have to take your time, and if it doesn't go through the holes, it'll probably go through the first hole, then it will go through the second hole. But I find putting it back through the further, back through the one that you've already gone through in the first instance is the tricky business. But you don't have to get it straight through all the pages in one go. No, that's not a rule. you can just sew it through one page at a time and then tighten it all up at the end. Oh, it's fancy. Now, do we want a third one down there? Let's have a look in the scrap box. Let's see if there's something nice. That would do a little, maybe something else black and white. That's a little bit narrow for a tab. Something, that's navy blue. Maybe that. Oh, maybe that. That's off one of these sample books. That's maybe a better size, and it doesn't have the sticky paper on the other side. Now, there's that. Can you see that? Are you? There's that. Where is this? I think I like this. See, this is where I could now fiddle about. This just fell out the box there, and that's just quite, there's a little bit of denim, a little bit of hubby's shirt. Now we're going totally off piste here. Oh, this is where, oh my goodness, I could really go crazy. And put something, we got, has everybody else got a box like this? It's just a box of goodies, so it is. Right, I don't think I'm going to rummage while I'm here with you. I think maybe that's a job for another day, to put something on. Oh, let's put that down. Yeah, I've got a bigger, I know there's a bigger bit of this somewhere, which might be quite nice actually, because that just matches them, and plus that's quite open, and you would be able to still see Orla. So I think we will seek out the bigger piece of this. Wait till, no, I'm not going to do it just now. Let's get this other tag on. Where will we put this tag? On the front. on the back. I think on the back page. Yeah. Okay, and then we're nearly done. Well, I think we pretty much are done. I might have another look for that crocheted lace. Oh, talking of crochet, we were in Battlefield the other day, and there's, oh, this is properly done now, I think. There's a haberdashery shop called, I know, Stitch Bitch. I don't know why they thought that was a good name, but that's the name. And she's a nice lady, is going to be running crochet classes. She's doing all sorts of different classes, but on a Thursday night, 6 till 8, like I need to do something else, but I've always wanted to learn how to crochet. And we were passing by and I saw the notice in the window, and she saw me reading the notice. She come dashing out. She's like, oh, you interested? I says, well, I might be. I says, we're actually in the process of selling and buying houses at the moment, and so I don't really have time because I'm de-stashing and packing up, but they don't start till, I think, towards the end of May, so I might. So it's 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, and she shows you how to crochet and she gives you all the bits, and so I might put my name down for that. We'll see. Right, so what do we think? I am pretty pleased with this. Yeah. So sorry it was such a faff doing the stitching, but we got there in the end. I think it's always good to see it actually happening, and then you know that, you know, you're not alone. If you don't get it through the holes first time, well, I very rarely do, so it's not a big deal. You get there in the end, and yeah. So this will remind me of our day out in Helensburgh. There was a new coffee shop as well, so we went in there. We had lunch and sugar bought. That was, well, brunch. I had the scrambled eggs and bacon on sourdough toast, and hubby had the pancakes, and Millie got half of one of his pancakes, and then I went to Fabric and Finery and got the packet of, you know, this pack. So if you're ever in Helensburgh, Fabric and Finery, it's right on the front overlooking the water, opposite the big car park at the swimming pool. And yeah, it's a great wee shop. It's a wee Aladdin's cave. So thanks for joining me today, and if you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.